want to just change the angle and topics on the more on the faith side of it, and then religious beliefs. Could you elaborate the role of the faith in communities and the role of faith in functioning societies, and what ecosystem it creates through generations to generations of social cohesion, positive contribution back towards the state? If you can elaborate on those ideas and concepts.
Sure, absolutely. As a Palestinian, social cohesion has been a tradition of our people for centuries. In the sense that as Palestinians we got Sunnis, Shias, Alawites, Maronites, Melkites, Orthodox, Catholics, Armenians, Circassians, Afro-Palestinians, and of course Sephardi Jews as well. In terms of being a multi-religious, multi-ethnic nation, this should be the footprint as to what we want to see in the future, regardless of whether it is a one-state or a two-state or anything. This is every Palestinian that you will meet, every Palestinian advocate goes out of their way to try and clarify the difference between what they perceive as Zionism and what they perceive as Judaism. Obviously different to how a Jewish person from the mainstream community doesn't necessarily differentiate between the two, but from the Palestinian perspective, they see a clear difference between those two things, Zionism and Judaism. And then I guess scholars like Avi Schleim, Ilan Pappé, Norman Finkelstein also make that distinction between the two. So when you hear prominent Jewish voices who are pro-Palestine in that sense confirm that distinction to our community, it becomes harder to try and see it from the person from the mainstream Jewish community's perspective, where Zionism and Judaism are one and the same thing. Because our community doesn't understand the concept of what galut is. And just for you, galut is the state of affairs where Jewish people are being ruled by a foreign occupation or foreign people. You can be in galut, in the land or outside of the land, and so the state of Israel to the majority of Jewish people around the world was the end of galut, and they would see a one-state solution where they absorb all the stateless people in the West Bank and Gaza, and reversing the demographic ratios to pre-48 ratios would be the end of galut, if that makes sense. Palestinians don't understand how Jewish people view Zionism, and Palestinian and Jewish people don't understand how Palestinians see the Palestinian national identity. Sorry, what was the original question? We can probably cut that. Social cohesion. Yeah. If there was more dialogue, if there was more understanding, it would increase the social cohesion between the two communities who have more in common, arguably, than they do differences. We're both very blunt people. We stick up for our friends. We won't let you leave our homes without feeding you, so on and so forth. But unfortunately, this entire Israel-Palestine issue has always made it awkward for the communities to engage with each other, which gives an increased, heightened importance to why this thing needs to be resolved as soon as possible.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Jason. Thanks for your time.
No, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
And hopefully the viewers get something out of that and break outside of their ecosystems and pursue a just and lasting solution for everybody.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.